Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. We're kind of gonna have a little, just an easy-going video today. We're gonna just take a walk through the garden, talk about how everything's growing, show you everything. By the way, the in-ground garden, the raised beds, containers, everything. Okay, we're gonna go through that, just show you how everything's growing, talk about it, and hopefully just enjoy a little garden tour today. Okay, we're gonna start with these raised beds back here behind me. We've got Landreth bush beans planted here, zucchinis over here, so it's costata romanesco, and I forgot what the other one is. Romanesco's on the left, the other one's on the right. Those are zucchinis, more Landreth bush beans here, and then some early prolific straight neck yellow squash here in the middle. These Landreths are growing really well. Now they do a little differently than other bush beans. They do kind of set a little higher. You see how tall this one goes up? It's a little fatter bean, if I remember correctly. And these stems are a bit stronger too. This is a really good thickness to these stems. They're doing really well. As you can see, they're getting ready to bloom. Maybe right here, kind of getting closer. Those are growing really well, and these zucchinis are doing great. Even though we did have to replant these, this one is the only one actually came up with the first planting. Everything else did not, pretty much. So we had to replant, and they've done really well since. They're looking great. Yellow squash looking really good. A few weeds in there we got to kind of pull out. Nothing crazy. Got to get them quickly. But they're getting ready to start blooming a little bit, maybe. You can see. And then this bed of green beans is doing really well as well. Looking great. They look just wonderful. We love growing bush beans in general, green beans, okay, in general. If any of you guys have followed us for any time, you know my proclaimed affection for green beans. And we do like to grow bush beans and pole beans like you see behind me, just for a staggered harvest. Bush beans are really good for a fast grower, 60 days around there, out, get all your harvest, get them canned or in the freezer, and replant. Okay, that's what bush beans are there for, and they're good. They're tasty. They're fine. It's really good. Works well for raised beds, and works well in small spaces. You're able to get a couple of crops in and out. And that's fine. It's a lot of production. That's good. Pole beans take longer. They'll grow longer into the season, and they have better flavor. Okay, what we have planted here is North Carolina long greasies. North Carolina long greasy green beans, really good. Overall, they germinated pretty well in this top section. If you can look in the very back there, we'll see in a minute. They didn't germinate very well down there at all. And we probably didn't replant any of those because nothing seems to grow really well in that spot. But they're doing really well. These tomatoes, however, let's just look behind me at all this glory. A lot of green glory back there behind me. Let's go through them. You see here, it's up to my hip. I'm 6'3", so they're working on it. Really good, really good. Look at these beautiful tomato plants. I'll tell you something while I'm trying to figure out which tomato's which. One thing that I do that you should do as well is put it on your phone. See that? They have each row. When I planted them, I did each row, how many's in each row, and in order they're in, so that I can then go back and reference. And I sent it to Angela in an image, texted it as an image, so now she can just go to her gallery on her phone and look at it as well. That works a lot better that way. And if you have any questions like I do right now, because I forgot what they are, then we can go through it. Now that I see the list, we can kind of go through this. These first two plants are called Giant Belgium. We've never grown them before, but they're doing wonderful. They're supposed to produce up to 2-pound tomatoes. So the blossoms should be rather large, and they looks like a good size. They've grown really well. They're looking good. Man, so then we got, these are hybrids. These next three are hybrids called Country Taste. They look wonderful. Awesome. Everything down through is doing great. This one is a little smaller. It is called, so those are Country Taste. The next one, that's a Vincent Watts. Okay, yeah, these next three are Vincent Watts. And they kind of struggled a little bit to start with, so that's why he may be a little puny. But they're gonna come out of it, I believe. This one, he's a little rougher, that's for sure. I don't know what's up with that one, but they're looking really good. And a couple, it's called Yellow German and a Tigerella down at the end. The other Tigerella is up here, and it looks amazing. Look at that plant. Tigerella should be a fun one to grow. It's supposed to grow pretty quickly, produce pretty quickly, and be a kind of a tiger stripe. It's gonna be a red tomato with some yellow striping on it. Should look really nice. We're gonna see this one right here though. Look at it. This is a Tigerella as well, but it is wonderful. It's a lot better. Really hard to appreciate it on camera, I think, but they look amazing. We're excited about them. We're growing sun golds again, which is right here. It looks really good as well. We're just really happy. I'm gonna try to spare you from just the tomato tour, but I will kind of scan through how beautiful they're looking. One thing we've been really excited about is the thickness of the stems. See, look how thick these stems are. They're really awesome. I mean, again, I got good sized hands, so I got a good sized finger, and good thickness. Good thickness so far. These are all Cherokee purple tomato plants. Look how thick they are, man. So that one, Cherokee purple, looking good. This one is. Angela Kay will be happy on these. Woo! Look at this. Oh, look at these beautiful blossoms right here. Man. Beautiful, beautiful blossoms. See, that's Angela's favorite tomato, the Cherokee purple. They are looking maybe better than we've ever had Cherokee purples look. They look so good. The plants are so healthy. So if I make my wife happy with some strong tomato plants, which by the way, she took care of them when they were babies, right? She took care of them in the seedling stage and in the growing up stage. I planted them all, okay? I planted them all, but she took care of them up to that point. So we both got our hands in on it. But man, if those Cherokee purples do wonderful, I'm gonna have a happy wife. Hey y'all, what? Hey, I know we got a lot of females watching, but if you weren't aware of this, happy wife means happy life, okay? So, but then the next 6 are Bonnie Best. Bonnie Best are our main producer. We rely on them the most, I think. Them and Romas, but we rely on them the most in the in-ground garden for tomato production for canning. And so we got 6 of them, and they look wonderful as well. These 2 are Amish paste tomatoes. They always look rough. I don't understand why. This one we probably could just even cut that off. It's fell over. We're kind of with the weed fabric on the garden. We're kind of letting things go and see how they do. And well, if they fall over, they fall over because they're not gonna be sitting in mud. But this is kind of sprawling out everywhere. We may need to do some training on these. But the yellowing already on these is a little concerning. But Amish paste tend to be a little strange and disease prone, so we're going to see how they go. Just hopefully they can produce something. Amish paste is a really good tomato to plant for canning, but they get out of control and they are very disease prone. That's the one problem with them, or maybe the 2 problems with them. But we only plant 2 plants of them just because we do love them. They get very big pasting. They're very big pasting tomatoes. Imagine like a Roma tomato that's fat and longer. It can be really like a 1 pound Roma tomato. All right, that's what you got there. And they're good, but they have their issues. If we had a different setting, different environment, I'd probably spread them out more and get them together a little bit more. In our spot here, we can't really rotate them around. We don't really have the availability to rotate them and put them in different spots. We don't have the ability to spread them out a little bit more. So we're doing what we can with what we got right there. Now this next tomato is the carbon tomato. Looks so good. Nice green, dark green foliage. Really beautiful blossoms. Look at this massive blossom right here. Beautiful, big blossom. Yeah, that's a nice tomato blossom. Typically bigger blossoms mean big tomatoes. The carbon tomato we'll call the 3rd most popular or most important tomato in the garden. How about that? The 3rd most important tomato in the garden. Most important tomato is the Bonnie Best. Well, maybe the Cherokee purple since it's Angela's favorite. Then Bonnie Best. They're kind of 1A, 1B because Bonnie Best is super important to us, but so is the carbon. The carbon is, we plant 4 of those for a reason, because they're really good, they're good producers, good canners. So, and they're disease resistant. For an heirloom tomato to be as disease resistant as they are, it's very important to us to grow them. And we've got these right here, these German Johnson tomato plants. Really good tomato that we planted last year for the first time, and it's probably earned a spot in our garden forever. So then there's the other Tigerella and the Sun Gold. very good tomatoes. Yes, we planted a lot of tomatoes. Behind us are the peppers that are looking really good as well. Angela used these bamboo stakes to put them in, and she's gonna train them up to them. She's just tying them up. She's training them to stay upright and next to this bamboo stake, and hopefully make some good strong plants. Overall, the plants are all doing really well. We plant the most Ajvarsky peppers, which is this right here, these, and then the second most King of the North peppers, which is these. It's a green bell. These right here, which is looking wonderful. Look how great these peppers are looking. Really strong, really full, green, lush, awesome looking plants. And yes, we plant a lot of peppers as well, but we use a lot of peppers over in reality. I think this one is a Cubanelle. Plant 3 Cubanelle peppers. Pretty much every year this looks like a Cubanelle, and they're doing great as well. So we do have a lot. We have 32 tomato plants in this garden and 20 something peppers, over 20 something. So yes, it's a lot of peppers, a lot of tomatoes. We like to eat a lot of peppers and tomatoes, but no spicy peppers. We have struggled a little bit down here at this end of the garden with the corn and popcorn, and I'll show you what I mean. See, the popcorn is this right here. This side is the blue, this side is the pink, and you see the spaces. Yes, so some didn't germinate, some germinated really well, as you can see. Those back there and these up here, they all germinated really well. Good looking stalks of corn so far. And as you see here, some did not germinate really well. So we replanted, and we're starting to have some growth. I don't believe this is corn, but I'm gonna wait. This is corn, this is corn, this is corn. So this whole row is starting to germinate really well, as well as this. So the popcorn is coming around. We had to replant a lot of it, but it is coming around. And when we replanted, I used a light seed starting mix to cover over top of the seeds instead of trying to bury it, because the soil on this end of the garden is not near as good as the soil at the top. We haven't worked on it as much, haven't added bedding to it the way we should have, and so it's a little different down here, a little lumpy, a little rocky, and there's a lot of insects inside the soil that tend to eat your seeds. Now, is it an insect or was it a bird coming along and pecking there? I do not know. Could be either. Birds get in the gardens a lot too. So, but either way, the seeds weren't germinating, so we redid them, and the popcorn looks like it's paying off. I see there's quite a bit of germination, especially in this blue. I see some pink over here as well. So the popcorn is going to be just fine. The sweet corn, on the other hand, we may have to do a little work on it. Here's the sweet corn. Out of all these little sections, we had one that came up. Now it's looking good, but it's the only one. Now that was the only one. I think we had another one that germinated before, but I think it looked like it kind of was up and then maybe it was gone. So maybe a cutworm came along and cut it off at the ground. Now, as I'm looking around, as I'm talking to you, I do see some more germination. However, not enough. So I'll show you that, but at the same time, if we go through an issue where where we don't get enough corn germinated, I will probably just go ahead and try to start the seeds in a container, like a little bitty flower, like seed starting cell. I'll probably just go ahead and try to start the seeds there in a light mix, and once they get about this big, just bring them out and plant them in the ground, because I'm stubborn that way. I will not give up. I won't allow something to just be empty. I won't say something can't grow. I won't say that I can't do this, I can't do that, this doesn't work for me, I have bad luck. I ain't doing it. I don't believe in all that mess. I believe in being stubborn, hard-headed, and keep planting, keep trying, keep working, analyze what you're doing, see if it can do better, see if something's going wrong, how can I prevent it, what measures can I take, how can I do this differently. But just keep trying, because failure for me is not really an option all the time, okay? And as you see here, we do have some more germination right here, and right here. A couple up here. So yes, they're starting to grow. We'll see how they do. Now again, as I talked about, I just keep trying. Now, does that mean I've ever had great success with sweet corn? No, because I haven't. I will be very real. We have harvested some sweet corn before. Not the big, beautiful ears like you'd like and hope to have, but we have had some smaller ears and been able to freeze some from the garden. I would like to do more. Now, popcorn is more important to us because it's just something we enjoy. We enjoy popping on corn on a Saturday night, watching a movie, chilling out. So that's more enjoyable for us, more beneficial to us because we don't eat a ton of sweet corn. But you like to have some good sweet corn if you're growing a garden. These empty spots are for trombone stina that have not germinated. We replanted. They're probably not quite due to germinate yet, but if they don't, then we'll start them from seed in a controlled environment. Same with this down here. This is Kajari melons. They've suffered the same fate. Again, probably something's in the soil eating these seeds. We put diatomaceous earth, or DE for short, on the ground when it's dry, trying to run the bugs, trying to run any insects out. It works temporarily, but once it gets water on there, they'll come right back, in my opinion. So is that the issue? Most likely. I mean, so you just gotta keep working with it. You're gonna have pest pressure, you're gonna have bugs eat your seeds, you're gonna have things to get in and cause you problems. You just gotta keep going. Tar Heel green beans right here on these two teepees, and they're doing wonderful. They're latching on to these really well. Nice producers. Pink eye purple hull cow peas. Again, germination issues over here. Probably the same thing. That seed washed up, so we'll bury him. Seed washed up, we'll bury it. But probably the same thing going on here, that it's just simply, you know what it is. Some more Tar Heel beans though, germinating. Angela replanted, I believe, and they're popping up really well. So again, hey, replant. We buy extra seeds because of that, and we keep extra seeds on hand because of that. Jacob's cattle bush beans through here, and here. These are dry beans. This is just an out of the way section of the garden that is not typically very productive. So we put something in there that we can just let sit. It doesn't get as much sun here as it needs to get, but these produce beans, and we're just supposed to let them dry on the vine or kind of go to seed. So, okay, we're not looking to rip these in and out real fast like we do other bush beans. These can sit here and produce what they can produce, and we'll take what we get. And they're good. They're really good beans for dry beans. So that's the point of these right here. And they look like they're going to be wonderful. Like it's going to work out really well here. Calendula growing here and here. All four of these spots are calendula. Pineapple ground cherries right here. This one's got some spotting on it. Don't really know what happened. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Just keep it down here. Looks like maybe some kind of flea beetle type thing or something ate on the leaves, possibly. But that's how they are. They're growing really well. A small one popped out. Lemon bee balm here, growing really slowly. Red bee balm over here, maybe someone's growing. Don't know. That's what was planted over here. So who knows? And summer lettuce mix, all season lettuce mix right here. Just to see what happens. Because as you can see, because it's dark on my face, it's a really shady spot. I could cut this out. That would help a little bit. But it's a really shady spot. Not much can grow here. And so we just put something in there to see what it can do. A little lettuce wouldn't hurt if it can stay cool and grow a little bit of lettuce there. Hey, congratulations, we grew something in the shade. If not, we're not out of anything. Now onto some of the containers. Right here, the sweet potatoes are starting to take off. Starting to grow finally after some rain. Sweet potatoes are looking really good. Picked up a little bit after some rain. You see the new leaves here, looking really good. Raspberries looking strong. More zucchini, bush variety looking strong. Eggplant, it is what it is. They look good. Potatoes, full potatoes, look at that. Very, very strong potato plants. Looking good, starting to, ooh, look at that, even want to blossom. It's good to see your potato plants bloom. It's a sign of a really healthy plant. So, it's really nice to see that so quickly. I think we're only about around 5 weeks into this. So, that's 5 weeks into it. They're going to be in there for what? 12, 13 weeks-ish, 13 to 14 weeks. So, we're only 5 weeks in. I just fertilized them with some bone meal and kelp meal the other day. They're looking really strong. We're excited. Hopefully get a lot of beautiful potatoes in there. Tomato plants in a grow bag are looking wonderful. 2 beautiful Romas in a 15-gallon grow bag, looking strong. These are called Mountain Princess. They should really be determinate and not need staking, but we put a cage here for the heck of it. They're producing too. Look at that. A lot of buds. These 2 are Mountain Princess. Then everything else here is Roma. Looking beautiful, strong plants. Ooh, and the fig tree's coming out of it. Fig tree. If you don't know, we love figs. We've had 2 fig trees in mug buckets before. We bought 2 others. One didn't make it. Probably should have called somebody about that, but we didn't. This one did make it, and we love figs. Chicago hardy fig is the only one you can grow here. We put them in mug buckets, and they tend to work out pretty decently, especially if you do it right, which we're learning how to do things better on that. But they're looking, it's exciting. Figs are delicious. Some more pepper plants. This one is Ashe County Pimento. It's a little shorter, squattier. And one of these is Jalapeno and one of these is Shishido. I'm not sure which is which, but that's what they are. Beautiful green stalk right here. A tomato plant, look at that. Draining kiss. It's gonna be tomatoes about like this big on multiflora, so it's gonna spread out big time, prong out like that. Another strong draining kiss right here. Beautiful looking green beans. Zucchini, bush zucchini down here, and bush zucchini right here. That green stalk's gonna be very productive. Okay, shameless plug. We have a code and link in the description below. If you want to use it, get $10 off your green stalk. They're amazing. They look awesome, and they work really well in the backyard. Beautiful kale, Ragged Jack kale. It's about wore out. To be honest with you, it's about wore out for the season. It may be chicken food at this point, but it grew well. It grew really well. This chard, though, on the other hand, look at this. Big Swiss chard. Beautiful chard. Big leaves of chard. Man. That is the orange or the Oriole variety. It's our favorite variety. It's one that tends to handle the heat better in our location. This is full sun. It's getting a lot of sun, and this is a hot spot in our yard. So, and it's handling it pretty well. The broccoli, on the other hand, is handling it, but you're going to see some damage. See, the broccoli looks good. Obviously, some damage here. That's not necessarily anybody's fault but mine. Because you see this burn pile right here? It may or may not have been set on fire and gotten really, really hot. And possibly a little too close to the broccoli, and maybe some broccoli leaves took some heat. I mean, some serious heat. Everybody's okay. Some broccoli leaves may have been hurt in the filming of that video, which there wasn't a video, by the way. But some broccoli may have been hurt. But not killed, just maybe a little impaired, okay? But that was my fault. I was just trying to do it before we planted the sweet potatoes, because the sweet potatoes would not have handled it. And we needed it cleared out so we could plant the sweet potatoes there. However, the broccoli's doing good. We've never planted it in a green stalk. We've never planted it in a container like this. We wanted to see how it would do. We put 18 in this 3-tier green stalk. A chicken ate 2 of them when they were young. And we have 16 left. And they're trying to produce a little bit. So as you can see, I'm not sure how long this is going to last. How big is it going to get? Who knows? But there is one trying to form right there. See it? Maybe. And then a better one right there. See? So there's a few of those around there. How big are they going to get? That's to be determined, because the size of the container does affect the size of the fruit or the size of the vegetables that's being produced inside of that container. Is it going to produce these big, massive heads? Probably not, okay? Is it going to produce a usable head of broccoli? Maybe, okay? So that's why we planted them there. Total experiment. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we can be more productive in that space. What can we use a 3-tier green stalk for? That type of thing. Hey, if it works, it works. If it don't, we know it don't work. More beautiful green beans here. Landreth in this green stalk, and our cucumbers here in this at the top. So 2 layers of cucumbers. Rest is Landreth green beans. And we got some beans coming on. See, some beans are growing. Beans are growing just a little bit. There's some more. One thing is that one's not on the spinner, so one side doesn't get as much sun as the other. It's not equal sun. That kind of hinders a little bit. We wish we had a spinner for it, but we don't have a spinner for it, so it's okay. Herbs are doing good. Looking great there. Rosemary there. Beautiful basil. 2 kinds of basil here. Growing fast back there. Growing fast. And we just done a video on this bed over here that we redone, and it's not been that long, and these are popping up really good already. These are white Dixie butter peas right on this row, Jackson Wonder butter peas over here, and a Alabama, I think it's Alabama black-eyed lima bean type thing up here that will run on this trellis. Germinating really well, growing really fast. I'm excited because this is like the hottest spot of the yard probably, and all 3 of those things really like heat. Once in a while we might know what we're doing. We'll see. We'll see if we're right? But that made sense to me. Got melons and stuff planted over here that hasn't germinated yet. Actually, there's an arangelo right there. Melon germinated. And another one right here. So they are germinating. I'm not sure there's any melons over here germinating yet. But I'm not sure. This one might be. I don't think so. No, it looks more like a weed. But melons are starting to germinate. It's a good thing. Onions over here. Onions are falling over like crazy over here, but they're growing. They're growing. They're gonna make something. That bed of onions isn't growing near as well as this little bed of onions up here. This bed of onions up here. Now it's been planted longer. Okay, been planted longer. I may have possibly fertilized that one heavier up here. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. I know I fertilized them all, but I may have done this one heavier. I don't know. But it's growing really well too. See, these onions look a lot better, a lot thicker. Really, these are really good looking onions here. Really strong, real thick. Look how thick these are. So they're gonna be nice. Those onions are gonna be really good. This is a red variety called Red Zeppelin. We got from Gurneys.com. It's our favorite onion so far, but it's been really good. This bed, the squash and okra, winter squash and okra, didn't germinate as well in the okra. So here you see a little bit germinated. That's because I planted the seeds a little too deep. Just being honest with you. Thought I did when I covered them because I was kind of in a hurry. This dirt, so it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's loose but a little heavy, and it's so loose. I think I just tossed a little too much dirt on top of it when I was kind of covering it back over, just going through it. And I probably got them a little too deep. So Angela replanted some today, and but they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. We got plenty of time. Over here we got the beets growing. We covered them with this mosquito netting just to keep the squirrels out of the bed because they dig holes. But they've germinated really well. You see that? A lot of really good germination in these. Probably about time, getting close to time to actually start thinning those and get them right. You need to put forth the effort on those beets to make sure that they're growing right, to make sure that they're thinned out, spaced out properly, and given the best chance to make the best beet. Be a gratuitous blackberry shot right here. The blackberries are doing wonderful. Great looking blackberries growing. Should be heavy yields. You see this here, they're all over the place. The blossoms aren't as evident now because they've fallen off, but you see there's a lot here. Whole lot of blackberries. We have 2 plants there, 2 blackberry bushes. They're self-supporting canes. I forgot the name of them right off. Heaven Can Wait. Heaven Can Wait. I think it's maybe exclusively at Gurney's, I'm not sure. But they're self-supporting canes, they're thornless. They're a dream to have. As you can see, they're not really taking much maintenance at all. They're doing wonderful. I think third year we've had those in there possibly, and they're doing great. Angela's tea basils doing really good. As you can see, the squirrels digging around in here too. These are doing a little better. They're starting to germinate. Angela's afraid they weren't going to, but they're starting to make it. This is the lime basil. This is holy basil, so this is Tulsi. This is lemon basil. This one is Persian basil, and this is the blue spice basil right here. And I think you can see that the squirrels got in here, dug around, and threw all the seeds over here. I think they tossed all the seeds over here, personally, because this is really, really thick. I didn't plan on quite that thick. That's okay. You see, everything's growing really well. May have been a little long of a video for you. Hopefully you made it through it, because we got a lot of great things growing. Probably didn't show a couple flowers, whatever, but things are looking great. Again, it's still look like it could be the best year for tomatoes and peppers we've ever had, which would be amazing because we've had some good years with tomatoes and peppers. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason, and this is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.